Hello, it's Bishop Mark, and today is Luke chapter 5, verses 12 to 16. And it's about a man who comes up to Jesus, and the man is a leper, L-E-P-E-R, leper. So the disease he has is called leprosy. Leprosy. Leprosy is a disease of the skin, and very bad. So your skin is and your bone, it's very bad for you. And lots of people who have leprosy die of leprosy, right? But it's also catchy, like COVID. You can spread it from one person to another. So the lepers at Jesus' day they lived apart because they were seen as unclean. But it's unclean both in terms of they're disease filled and they can spread it, so they're kind of seen as dirty that way. But also in Jesus' day, someone with that kind of sin, a stain of leprosy, would also be seen as sinful. So it would be the priests of the temple, the Jewish priests, that would the rabbis which would say these people are not only unclean physically, but they're unclean in their spirit, in their soul. Now Jesus explained that that's not the truth. He helped us as a world can disconnect sinfulness with disease. But at the time of Jesus, this man was seen as having a bad skin disease that could catch and so had to be alone, but also as sinful and therefore unclean spiritually. Okay, let's read it now about the man with leprosy who comes up to Jesus. Now there was a man full of leprosy in one of the towns where he was. And when he saw Jesus, he fell prostrate, pleaded with him and said, "Lord, if you wish, you can make me clean." Okay. Now, first of all, that word prostrate, that means to lie down on the ground with your face to the ground. And it's when, because the man is begging Jesus. He's recognizing Jesus as a healer, and he's begging him to help him. Now remember, the man is seen by the world as someone who has to live apart or only with lepers because he's both disease-filled and spiritually unclean, right? And yet he's bold enough to come up to Jesus. He shouldn't be coming up to anyone in that town according to the rules of the church, the Jewish faith. So he was at the time, so I have to qualify that, but he risked it, and he comes up to Jesus and he lies down on the ground and says, "If you wish, you can make me clean." Now, I assume he's talking about his leprosy when he talks about cleanliness. But the two are one and the same at the time. Jesus stretched out his hand, touched him, and said, "I do will it. Be made clean." And the leprosy left him immediately. Okay, there's one part of this that's hard that I have to explain. So we know the story. Jesus just reached out, touched him, has the power to make people, to heal people, and so he just did. But at the time, it would have been considered very bad, not only because of disease, but because of the Jewish faith, for Jesus to touch a person with leprosy. No one would touch a person with leprosy. They're left to themselves, they're forgotten, but Jesus sees the man and he reaches out and he touches him. Now, people would find that amazing that Jesus would touch the man. Of course, he's able to clean the man both physically. So that's why he touches them. But at the time, it would seem to be a great sin of Jesus by the rabbis. He himself now would be seen as unclean. Jesus, because he touched a leper. Does that make sense? Okay, let's read this. Now, he healed him immediately. Then he ordered him not to tell anyone, but go show yourself to the priest and offer for your cleansing what Moses prescribed. That will be proof for them. So Jesus knows the man is healed, but the man is known as a leper. In order to be seen as clean, the man would have to go to the rabbi and do an offering, and the rabbi would have to declare him clean, no longer having leprosy. So Jesus says, you need to do that. Not only is you're clean on the outside, you're free from leprosy, but it's the rabbi that declares that you're clean from the inside, spiritually. See, Jesus was a good Jewish person, and he wanted to make sure this man was a good Jewish person, and he sent him to the priest for the inside cleaning. So he had the outside cleaning from Jesus, but he knows the man would not be able to talk to anyone unless a rabbi said he was clean. So he sends him for the inside cleaning. The report about him spread all the more, and great crowds assembled to listen to him and be cured of their ailments. Ailments means diseases and things that cripple us and all that. So every time Jesus heals somebody, people are amazed, and the crowds are growing and growing, and they're both wanting to be healed, but every time he sees the crowd, he preaches and teaches. So his reputation, everyone's talking about Jesus, and everyone's flocking to him. It's getting to be very big. Okay, and it ends with, but he would withdraw to deserted places to pray. I told you this would come up more than once. Jesus likes to pray. Of course, I like to pray too, but imagine his prayer with God, right? And he has to get up in the morning. We saw him do that. But he has to get away to be alone to pray. Because if he's in public, people just keep coming up to him, asking to be healed. So he has to get away. When we live busy lives, we have to get away to pray too. We have to make sure that we do. Okay, that's the story of him cleaning the leper, both on the outside and sending him to the priest, the rabbi, for the inside cleaning, and how his reputation is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are flocking to him. We'll continue with chapter 5 next time.